Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.
ID Tech, the first and most trusted tech camp, is where kids ages 7 to 17 find their people. The coding and creating people. The fire-breathing, shell-spinning BattleBots people. The just as happy building games as they are playing them people. At 75 prestigious college campuses all across the country, ID Tech features over 50 epic courses like BattleBots, AI and machine learning, game design, and more. Visit idtech.com and use code IDTech to save $150 on a week that's guaranteed to be a highlight of summer.
Someone stole your laptop?
There was this poker game at Logan's last night. Weevil won $5,000, and someone stole the money. This is his way of collecting.
You lie down with dogs, you're gonna get fleas.
I didn't invite him.
I wasn't talking about Weevil.
Hey, this kind of concerns you.
I don't see how.
I keep a journal on my laptop for the past, 3 years. There was a time when you were kind of a feature.
A feature with a cleverly disguised pseudonym?
Let's just say I was prolific.
There are a million things Duncan could have written about me that I'd sooner impale myself on a rusty spike than have someone else read. I must get that computer back.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Veronica Mars. We're just two boys watching every episode of Veronica Mars for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I am Sloppy Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 1, Episode 10, An Echols Family Christmas, directed by Nick Mark. Written by Diane Ruggiero. Original air date was December 14th, 2004 to an audience of 1.9 million people. Woof.
Not a lot. What was last episode? 2 something?
2.4.
Okay. Interesting. Christmas episode losing numbers, you would think.
I mean, it's a big episode. There's some shit happening in this one.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's before we get into the podcast, hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy. We are doing Boys Watching Dollhouse over there. We got Boys Watching Movies, bunch of fun stuff. Join our Discord. Link is in the show notes. And I'm going to start plugging this Buffyverse Burlesque, May 3rd, Illusion Magic Lounge. If you just go to buffyverseburlesque.eventbrite.com, use a little promo code, all caps, no spaces, Boys Watching Buffy. You get a little discount. If you're a listener of the program, you can come on out, see some Buffy boobies. It'll be a good time.
What is this? What is this show? What is the show that you're promoting?
It's a show that I am producing at Illusion Magic Lounge, May 3rd at 9:30 at night in Santa Monica, California. It is a burlesque / aerial / fire performance show where all of the performers are going to be embodying their favorite Buffy the Vampire Slayer universe characters. And it's going to be fun, man. I'm really excited about it. I got a lot of really dope and diverse acts coming at you. So
cool. Come
on out.
Sounds good.
It's going to be a good time. And no shout outs or anything going on today?
No.
We
got to crack open these energy drinks.
Yeah, I switched it up today.
I think I'm doing cherry berry lime. You too?
Yeah, me too, dude.
Okay. Question I had: how did we get started with these energy drinks again,
bro? I have no idea. I think it started.
I know it started with something with you.
It started. It started because I think I was trying to get you to try Baja Blast. And then there were Baja Blast energy drinks. And those, I think, were the first ones that we ever got.
Okay. Did we get them? We got them for ourselves?
No, somebody sent them. That was part of the ones we made the Amazon wish list, which we still have.
Yeah.
Can look at some
That's
stuff
where these
on
came
there.
from. Yeah.
That is exactly where these came from. But yeah, I tried it's funny because I'll just have like a humongous crate of energy drinks like on my kitchen counter when I'm doing photo shoots at my apartment. And people are like, what's up with all these energy drinks? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I have a podcast and
Yeah,
drink an
makes
energy
sense.
drink every podcast.
The podcast, of course.
We drink an energy drink every podcast and we talk about them and then people send them to us and it's awesome. And they're like, what? How did that happen? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Have you tasted this cherry berry lime yet?
Yeah, it's I had some mouthwash earlier, so I don't know if I have
Same. I literally brushed my teeth right before this because I've been eating fucking Tricks every day. And it's just ruining my mouth.
Tricks for kids, Joe.
Dude, the other night I just had a fucking hankering for Tricks. And I went to the grocery store and a regular box of Tricks was $6.
I was going to say 7 out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not worth
$6 for just a standard, not family size, not giant size, standard box of Tricks, $6. And then I wandered over a little bit further down and I saw they had those gigantic bags of Tricks.
Tracks, you mean? The off-band tracks.
Just fucking horse. Fucking, that's what they put in the horse's like nuzzle.
The bunny's all gray.
Just cow feed in a gigantic bag. It is legitimately Tricks. The rabbit's on there.
Okay.
It's legit Tricks. Humongous bag, $8.
Why?
Don't know. But one thing you do know about your boy, he likes a good deal. Went for the bag.
No, you're
the
eating.
bag is like 3 boxes.
No, you're eating Tricks.
I can't get rid of these Tricks. My mouth feels terrible.
Oh, you fool.
Yep. So I had 3 bowls this morning before
3
the
bowls?
podcast.
Oh, my God.
I've been trying to get rid of it. I might just like throw out the rest of it. I should have just got the box.
That's a lot of milk,
But-
man.
Not really. It's the same milk. I just keep
Yeah.
pouring more cereal on top. But it shredded my fucking roof of my mouth, dude. And now everything that I eat or drink is just like agitating it.
Yeah, go back to one of our Buffy podcasts. We definitely did a cereal ranking at some point.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, but everyone already knows
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's been with us since the beginning.
So, do you want to hear some predictions for this episode?
I do. I really do.
Whose would you like to hear first?
You know what? I'm a fucking narcissist. Let me hear mine first.
Okay. You said that the press would ask Logan why he has a black eye, because he gets a black eye from his dad, and he would deny it, and then later expose the truth about his dad.
Oh, about his dad's abusive nature.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was wrong.
Yeah.
What was yours?
I said awkward tense Christmas dinner with the Echols, and Veronica is there somehow.
I mean,
I'm close.
kind of.
Yeah, she is there somehow.
She is there somehow.
It's not quite
And they
the
do have a dinner.
There's
and
food.
it gets awkward.
It does get awkward and tense.
I'm giving it to you, Vance. I'm
All
giving
right.
it to you.
It's not the Christmas dinner around the table I was expecting, but yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You didn't specifically
I
say
didn't
around a table.
Yeah. I pictured it
And
in my
even if
mind.
you did,
But yeah,
they are around several tables.
there are a lot of tables. I don't know. It's not a lot of tables.
Oh, but all right, let's do this damn thing. The episode opens up with a recap of Lily Kane being murdered. We get the return of Duncan Kane used to be my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little recap about the Weevil / Logan beef and Veronica Mars researching why her mom left and Clarence Weedman taking pictures of her and that kind of shit. So the episode opens up with Veronica and Keith watching. I don't know the name of this Christmas movie, the Heat Miser one.
Yeah,
The Year Without a Santa Claus, I think it's called.
I think so. Yeah, that's like it's the Heat Miser, and then
This
there's
is
the other
blasphemy.
one. Yeah.
People are
I
shutting this
know.
fucking podcast
I
off right
know.
now.
I mean, I definitely watched. I didn't watch this movie last Christmas, but I definitely watched this song because it's so insane.
Yeah. I mean, I remember this wasn't my family Christmas go-to thing. Like, we just didn't watch this one. I watched it in 6th grade, I think. They put it on during
You were
school.
right. The Year Without a Santa Claus. Yeah.
Yeah. But it just didn't really stick, and I haven't watched it since. But it's a classic.
Yeah. Snow Miser, Heat Miser. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miser's such an old-timey term, too. Yeah.
I know. But Veronica and Keith are decorating the Christmas tree. Keith's got a bunch of Padres ornaments. He's a big fan of the San Diego Padres.
Mm-hmm.
And Veronica asks Keith what he wants for Christmas, and he's like, I want you to save your money. You don't got to get me anything. And then they bond over the I'm Mr. Green Christmas. I'm Mr. But cute scene. Weevil, on the other hand, is hanging out with the 09ers at a poker game.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote in my notes, it's Logan, Duncan, and other whites.
It's blue jean shorts from Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny. It's Ben the Soldier.
Real? I knew that guy looked familiar.
It's Ben the Soldier.
I knew that guy looked familiar. Okay.
Yeah.
We find out later their names are Connor and Sean.
Yeah, Connor's played by Ben the Soldier from It's Always Sunny.
Great 09er names. You know what I've realized? Your name reversed is an excellent 09er name. Hi, what's up? I'm Tucker Vance. That's an 09er if I ever heard one.
Instead, I'm just a 9-0er right now.
Yeah, you're a 9-0er.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're, bantering.
Mm-hmm.
And it's down to basically Logan and Weevil, and they both go all in. And Weevil wins after Logan's like really cocky about it. He's like, of course I'm going to win. I got 40 cards that can beat you. And then he pulls the one of the 2 cards that Weevil would win.
Mm-hmm.
So Weevil wins all the money. And then Logan's like, all right, I guess I got to pay up. Weevil is owed $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, all right, get the money box. So he gets his money box, and there's no money in the money box. And Weevil's like, what the fuck are you trying to pull here, dude? You better have my fucking money. He's like, it was in the money box. I don't know what happened to the money. And Weevil's like, well, I'm not fucking leaving until I get my motherfucking money. And if I have to flip you all upside down and shake you down, I will. And that's kind of what happens. He like strip searches all of the 09ers. And I don't know if you noticed this.
I was very confused by it. Dude, because they cut away and they cut back and all the guys are in their boxers. And I was like,
yeah,
what is happening?
And Logan and Duncan have matching underwear.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you also noticed this, but like the music in the background is like, it's like Bow Chicka Wow Wow music.
Yeah, and the Sean character's like, this is the worst game of strip poker ever. Like, that's the thing that takes us to the opening credits. And I was just...
Well, also Weevil, right after he says, I'm not leaving until I get my money, he strip searches all these guys, steals a Fabergé egg, and then leaves.
Yeah, and he says they owe him $1,000 each, so he's owed $5,000. Wait, is he owed 5,000? Wasn't it only 4 of them? So wouldn't he only need...
Well, he's including
plus
his
1,000
in there.
Yeah, because it was $1,000 buy-in. Now, I don't play poker. I don't go to poker nights at all. I've been around it a little bit. Normally, one person doesn't leave with all the money.
Yeah.
Normally, it's like you lost some person got some. It's not it's all or nothing. Because if poker nights were like that, people wouldn't do them.
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't know anything about poker, so
but
I have no grounds to talk about this.
You could bet and lose all your money. But if all 4 people lose all their money to one person, like somebody would be up, somebody would be down. Well, for the sake of this, Weevil's the best card player in the world.
Yep. And all the other 09ers are a bunch of patsies.
I don't understand why they all strip down like that, though. Especially Connor.
Well, I don't understand.
Because Weevil does not have any thing.
No, he's there alone.
He's there alone. He has no weapon.
We see in the recap when Weevil's threatening Logan, he's like, hey, this isn't 15-on-4 this time or whatever. He was surrounded by like his 09er crew or whatever.
Which I thought was lame because then you're just going to go to school and the gang will find you when you're not alone.
Yeah. But yeah, Weevil's kind of on the back foot here. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can understand him getting
all of them
pissed, but I don't understand them being like willingly stripping down.
Yeah.
Especially Connor's an A-list actor that acts with his dad. What are you doing?
I also love that he just like put that Fabergé egg in his jacket and walked out. Like it was a big egg too.
Yeah, I thought he could. There's so much. I think he could steal $5,000 worth of stuff from this room.
Dude, as we go along in this episode, I'm like, dude, you already made your money back. Like, what are you doing?
And why is it so hard for these 4 people to scrounge up that money? We watched a dude get $8,000 to pay off steroids.
Yeah. But anyway, so we got the opening song. Then we come back and Veronica and Wallace are at school. Veronica's looking at a pamphlet for a Padres training camp.
Fantasy camp thing,
yeah. But that cost $3,000 and I can't afford that.
Oh, if only we got that money from the cult case.
I know. Did they end up getting that money?
No.
Guess not. They're still living in the same apartment.
I love that $5,000 was going to be enough for them to move, but they're willing. She wants to make $3,000 to spend on her dad going to fantasy baseball camp. The money in the show and Dollhouse is just insane. I do not get the financials in these shows.
Yeah. So as they're talking about this, Duncan runs past and he slams Weevil up against. He's like, "Where's my laptop?" And then Weevil's crew slam. Yeah, Weevil's crew slams Duncan against the lockers. He's like, "I don't know, man. Where's my fucking money?" And then Duncan's like, "I didn't steal the money, dude. Stop. You stole my laptop, though." And Weevil's like, "You'll get your laptop back when I get my money back." Mm-hmm. I was like, "Good on you, Weevil."
Yeah, this is why I like that one-on-one that like, oh, your boys aren't here. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't end. It'll just keep going. Yeah.
But Veronica sees this and she walks over to Duncan after all of the PCHers disperse. And she's like, "What happened?" Duncan tells her about the poker game and how somebody stole the money. And now Duncan's laptop has been stolen. And Veronica's like, "Hey, that's what you get for fucking around with Logan. He's a piece of shit." And then Duncan's like, "Well, that laptop actually concerns you too." And Veronica's like, "How would it possibly concern me?" And Duncan says, "Well, that is where I write my journal. And there are several entries about you in there." And Veronica's like, "No way." And he goes, "I'm prolific." Ugh.
The thing here, and we didn't even talk about Duncan drunk acting at the party.
Drunken.
Yeah, drunken Duncan. I don't get this threat of the missing laptop with a journal on it because one, Veronica's reputation at the school is already shit.
Exactly.
They wrote 14 on her locker for the purity test. Like, yeah,
which we all took in our Discord.
We did. You're gonna have to scroll back if you join.
Found out Vance is a big square. He's a fucking virgin.
Yeah, I think scoring 100 on a purity test is beautiful. I think I was in the 40s. You were in the negatives or something.
Yeah, mine was 26.
Yeah, but 14. 14 is
14.
There's nothing in this journal that could come out that could be incriminating. It'd be funny if they're like, "Ha, Duncan wrote something about you and you used to be friends with the murdered girl from the school." Like, what?
The murdered girl who's also his sister.
Yeah, like, what are we doing? And then also, you know who has the laptop. It's not like it's randomly floating out there. Weevil's your, like, kind of buddy. He's not going to leak that. Yeah. They don't need this. They don't need this at all.
I feel like every episode they reset the relationships people have with each other.
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, wait a minute, I thought that y'all were friends. Wait, I thought you were cool now. Oh wait, I thought that you guys were. Oh, you hate each other now? Y'all are cool?
The Duncan and Logan stuff they do this episode is not great.
Well, dude, they did the whole thing about like Veronica and Logan being buddies, and then now they're
that
back
lasted
to like,
half an episode.
yeah, but then there was like the entire episode of Logan and Weevil being buddies, and then this episode they're back to not liking each other.
Well, I mean, they still had that like tension at the end of like, did he hook up? He's got Lily's name tattooed on him, so.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
No, yeah.
But anyway, Veronica's like, oh no, there's journal entries about me. I gotta get that laptop back. So she goes over to where the PCHers hang out, which is just a classroom, and they're playing dice and they got all the lights out.
Yeah. This is the same room that they had that poetry class where everyone was just like cuddled up with each other.
Yeah, there's no desks, just a dark classroom that they, for some reason, have control of.
I mean, the classrooms would be empty in class, in schools.
Not completely empty.
Like, not without
no
desks and stuff, but like there'd be empty rooms like that you could go into.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the PCHers are all hanging out playing dice, and Veronica's like, hey, let me help you figure out this money situation, Weevil, and just give Duncan his laptop back. Like, don't do this. And Weevil's like, does it look like I fucking need your help? I don't know you. I don't like you. And I was just like, wait, I thought that you
It
cool.
didn't go that far, though.
He does say he doesn't need Veronica's help. He's like, does it look like I need your help? I'm doing pretty good. So why don't you
I didn't get
off?
because she's got him out of like so many jams already.
She's got him out of jail.
Yeah.
So then Veronica's like, all right, cool, man. Like, whatever. I guess I'll just go fuck off. And he's like, well, actually, maybe you can help. And Veronica asks him, like, why were you even at this poker game? Like, how did you get invited? Then we get a flashback to Weevil going over to Logan. And Weevil's explanation is like, I heard a bunch of dumb idiot 09ers were having a poker tournament. I feel like they were easy marks. I could take all their money. So he asked Logan to join in. And Logan's like, no, we don't like your kind.
Racism.
Yeah. If you're at my house, you better have a leaf blower or a pool skimmer or whatever.
You're going to bring down the property value with your leaf blower. We don't take food stamps. It's just like all the hits. Just a mess.
I mean, it's crazy. He rattles those like every line.
Yeah.
Is that. And then Weevil is like, come on, man, let me in. And then Logan eventually relents and he's like, all right, fine.
Mm-hmm.
So then Veronica asks Weevil who he thinks did it. And he's like, I don't know who did it, but there were opportunities to steal it. I think it might have been Logan because there was, and then we got a flashback to Logan's mom going swimming at their pool, and all of the guys except for Logan go and like press their face and boners up against the glass door to watch her dive into the pool.
Was she in a bathing suit or not? I know she's silhouetted.
Yeah, she was in a bikini.
Yeah, Lisa.
Because they say hot babe in a bikini.
Okay.
And then one of them says, hope this turns into a late night skinny dip.
I love the moment in this scene where Weevil looks back and he sees Logan looking all like hurt and sad at the table, and
he's
then
like forlorn.
Yeah, and then Weevil's like, that's a human. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? What is he supposed to do? Be pressed up against the window with you guys? Like, it's his mom.
Yeah.
Of course he's not. But Weevil looks like he's never seen this like reaction. Like, wait, you don't want to? Oh, this isn't nice for you, is it?
Duncan's face is so like he's got like the pig nose with his nose pressed up against the glass. He's like, oh.
Duncan, dude.
Duncan is a mess, dude.
Veronica, you know how to pick him.
I thought that he was turning over a new leaf once he became school president, and he's like power to the people.
No,
vaguely.
That was just the episode. This is an episodic show.
All right.
We're not dealing with any of the school president stuff anymore until his dad is like, why aren't you president?
So then Weevil in present day is explained to Veronica. He's like, I don't know who took it, but I'm certain that the money never left that house. The money's in the house somewhere. So then we go over to Keith's office. And Logan's mom, Lynn Echols,
played by Lisa Rinna.
Yep. She shows up and she explains that she's a little bit freaked out because Aaron has been getting like kind of love letter, stalkery letters that have been getting a little bit out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith is like, all right, well, I will look into it. Do you think that Aaron is cheating on you? And she's like, I don't know, but I keep getting these letters and I need to figure out who's sending them. Keith's like, all right, we'll get to the bottom of it. And then Lynn's like, but also keep this a little hush hush, you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, of course.
Well, Keith asked to come by later to see the rest of the letters, which I thought was a weird thing. And his whole comforting act comes off very off-putting. Like he goes very like, you know, I got it.
Yeah.
And hey, it's been a while, hasn't it, Lynn? Like, it's insane that both Jake Kane and Aaron Echols' wives have come in to talk to Keith because they suspect some type of, this was a stalker, but like Celeste came in for like infidelity.
Yeah.
But
straight up infidelity.
But they are ground zero for the Lily Kane case. And they have chosen their side.
Yep.
But yet they go to him.
Yep.
It's a real leap in logic for people that have disposable cash that they could hire some other person to do this. Why would you go to someone that actually like has a connection, whose daughter works at the front desk? Like, you can't keep it hush hush when you walk in past Veronica Mars.
Luckily Veronica wasn't in at this point. But their banter about like, it's been a while. Like, they seem friendly.
Yeah.
Like, it's, you know, Lily's death, like, took it hard on, Logan took it hard, and Keith's like, understandable. Veronica has been having a hard time too. It's just like,
my wife left me and I had to start this little practice here, and I'm trying to scrounge together a couple bucks. But yeah. Thanks.
I don't have hot water in my apartment anymore. What can I do for you? But yeah, well, also, what's her face? Lynn, she explains, didn't she say that she threw away the other letters?
No, she seemed like she had some, or she's like, I think I keep them, or I forget if he wants to come by for some reason to see more letters.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Yeah.
So go back to school, and Veronica goes over to Duncan, and she's talking about how she's going to get the laptop back, but she needs some more information about the poker game and how surprised she was that Weevil would have been there. And Duncan's like, you think you're surprised? I would have been surprised. I was surprised as well. And we get another flashback to the poker game. And Duncan's basically like, why the fuck is Weevil here? They're like, he's got $1,000 buy-in. Logan is explaining, he's like, you paid the $1,000 buy-in, and plus we can fucking take this guy's money. There's no way he's gonna leave this place with our money.
And then there's some cookie play.
Yeah. And we come back, and the 09ers are at their little table, and they're laughing about how Weevil stole a Fabergé egg, and they're like, what are they gonna do with that? And Logan's like, huevos rancheros.
I was waiting for Ryan Hansen to come in and like slide some racism in there, because he's been so good. He's like, wait, are you guys making fun of Mexicans? Wait for me.
Yeah. I mean, his family is mentioned in this episode.
I know, the Casablancas Halloween
Casablancas. Dick Casablanca.
Oh.
But yeah, everybody's laughing and making racist jokes about Weevil, and Duncan is like, I have had enough of this. And he gets up in Logan's face, and he's like, you got to give Weevil his money back, man. And he leaves in a huff, and Logan is like, what's your deal, man? What's the problem? Like, I didn't steal the money. And Duncan's like, I don't trust you. And Duncan is like, I don't know when you became such a jackass. And then Logan's like, oh, I'm a jackass? You'll see. Yeah, I'm not a jackass. And Duncan's like, we're over it. I'm over it. And he walks away, and he's like, are you breaking up with me, Duncan?
It's And this is because he thinks that Logan, the guy who has all the money, stole the $5,000 for what? And it's been planned because Veronica's always goes, Logan did it. her first thing is Logan did it. One of these days he's going to do it.
Yeah, I don't think he's that innocent.
Oh no, he's a terrible person, but
he's a bad guy. He did organize those bum fights.
He did.
Veronica wasn't on that case.
Not
Aaron Echols was, and his belt.
Oh boy.
But yeah, Logan and Duncan are fighting. They're in a little bit of a tiff. So then we go to the Echols' house, and they're prepping for their big Christmas party. Lynn is decorating. Well, she's telling the help to decorate the house for Christmas. Mm-hmm. She's directing what needs to be done. And Keith is like, I think that the stalker has sent 6 letters based on my investigation. And he thinks that the stalker might be coming to the Echols party tonight. And Lynn's like, well, there's going to be 200 people here. So I don't know how we're going to find him. And Keith is like, I mean, are you sure that it's going to be secure? Like, there's 200 people here. You got all these help people. Like, they're going to be here. Do you know have you done background checks on all of them? And she's like, no, but they're the help. They wouldn't hurt. They're called the help. Mm-hmm. So then Aaron shows up and he's like, Keith Mars, long time no see, good friend.
Good friend, how was being ousted as the sheriff? How's that treating you? Here, your daughter's a pariah at school.
And he's like, oh, I hope that Lynn didn't get you involved in all this stalker letter thing. It's no big thing. I get letters like that all the time. And Keith is like, I mean, I think it is a little concerning, man. It's pretty concerning. She's just worried about you.
I'm faithful to my wife.
Yeah, he does make sure to mention that he is faithful to his wife.
Yeah.
Keith is like, oh, you don't say. And then Aaron's like, well, let me show you to the door. You don't need to investigate this any further. They open the front door to a carved pumpkin of Aaron Echols' face with a bloody knife stabbed into it. And Keith is like, not a concern, huh?
When he went to open the door, I was like, cut to the shocking thing. It was like such a setup. But the party must go on.
Party must go on.
Yeah.
Keith is talking to Lynn like, maybe you shouldn't have this party. Like, if you're worried about a stalker, like something dangerous might happen. She's like, but we always have a party.
Yeah, it's our time. It's our year to host.
Yep.
All right. If you want to have a party.
So then Keith is at his office and he's on the phone. He's talking to all the pumpkin carvers in Neptune.
All 2,500 of them.
Only one private investigator, but all the pumpkin carvers in the world. But yeah, he's getting some information about this pumpkin carving, and Veronica shows up, and Keith is like, yeah, I'm doing an investigation. There's some kind of stuff going on with the Echols family. You're going over there. Could you please drop off this paperwork to get his mom to sign for me? And Veronica's like, sure, Dad.
She wasn't going over there. He says, I want you to go over to Logan's. I need his mom, Lynn, to sign some papers. And my note says, what a jerk. Have her make the phone calls. You drive over there.
Yeah.
She has history with this family. That is a problem. Also, just last week, you were like, I don't want you getting involved in these cases. Now you're sending her over for social nightmare to go to Logan.
Not only social nightmare, he literally just saw a carved pumpkin with a knife stabbed into it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I can send my daughter over there.
He's like, oh, what would be easier for me to do to not have her involved in this with these people that are problematic? Dropping off the paperwork or just calling around and finding out pumpkin stuff, which she's really good at.
Yep.
But it's just the convenience of the plot that she needs to go over there for the other story. But which is fine. But it's like, come on, Keith, have a little. Give me another reason for her to go over there.
Yeah. So Veronica goes over there. And she runs into Logan. Logan's playing video games. And she's like, hey, I got some paperwork that your mom needs to sign. And Logan's like, whatever, just drop it there. And then Veronica starts asking him about the poker game. And Logan's like, why are you fucking here? We're not doing quote unquote.
He does this whole bit that he does every time she accuses him of something.
We're not doing quote unquote. But if we were, he does this whole bit about like, did your super sleuth kit come with a magnifying glass and fingerprint dusters and all this bullshit?
Invisible ink.
Yeah. I was like, ugh.
Why
so
are you
he's
always
like, don't
blaming
question me.
Why are you always blaming me, Veronica?
I didn't steal it. Why are you always up my ass about this kind of stuff? I'm not giving you any information. But if you should suspect someone.
This and Dollhouse both did one of these scenes, but this is the second time we get this scene in this episode. Weevil's like, get out of here, Veronica. She's like, fine. Wait, actually. And this one, she's about to leave. And he's like, well, hold up. If you do want to investigate someone. It's like, they just want to do their whole rant, but then they really want her help.
Yeah. So he tells Veronica that she should be investigating Connor. And Veronica's like, why would I investigate Connor? Why would he need $5,000? He's a big budget movie star. Everybody likes this guy.
Why would Logan need it?
Dude, why would any of these guys? I guess just like fuck over what's his face.
Yeah, but you're stealing the money from other people too. Like Duncan doesn't need it.
Yeah, that's true. His dad's a billionaire.
Yeah.
But Veronica's like, why would Connor need $5,000? And Logan's like, well, he kind of makes a suggestion that he's a cokehead, that Connor is addicted to coke. We get a flashback to the poker game. My note says Logan's being racist to Weevil for no reason. And then Connor stands up for him. He's like, hey, man, stop it with that shit, dude.
Soldier Boy Ben, baby.
Yeah, this is just like the fucking millionth racist thing that you said to this guy. Like, what's your deal? And
that saved the show almost. Just to, like, at least the show recognized. Like, they were like, we're not just getting jokes out of this. It's like, Logan, you're going way too hard.
Yeah, even the other white supremacists are like, this is too much.
When Sean's like, I got my ghetto juice or whatever, my ghetto aesthetic when he's drinking the weirdest, not 40s. He's like,
he's drinking like a barrel-shaped like root beer type looking thing.
It's definitely supposed to be malt liquor, but it's like those small Mickeys. I don't know.
But Connor's kind of pissed, and then he's like, oh, I get it, Logan. You're just mad because Rosie Perez thought that you were a girl. And then everyone's like, what? We got to hear this story. And it was a story about when Logan was 10, Rosie Perez thought that he was a girl named Lauren, and she bought him a purse for his birthday. And then Logan's all embarrassed.
That was great.
Yeah. And then there's a comment, though, a little bit of a motive, maybe, because Logan's like, Connor's had it out for me for a while anyway. And somebody makes a mention about like, oh, Connor, you truly are the son that Aaron Echols wishes he had or something. And then we get a shot of Logan looking like, and then, then we go back to present day and Logan's like, so yeah.
He goes to the bathroom too.
Oh, right.
He gets a buzzer and he goes, his phone like beeps and then he goes to the bathroom. That's where the coke thing came from.
Yeah, and somebody also mentioned like, man, either you got the bladder the size of a squirrel or something, or you got, I don't know.
Yeah, they were like, he's the only one that goes to the bathroom because he's drinking like tea, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess the rest of them pounding drinks have not gotten up to leave the table at all.
But yeah, then Logan's like, yeah, so investigate Connor because I don't like Connor. And if you're investigating him, you're super annoying and it's annoying him. That'll be fine.
Look at you, all helpful.
Hey, your pestiness being unleashed on Connor brings me joy. Annoy, tiny blonde one. Annoy like the wind.
So he makes a call to get Veronica on set to go investigate and question Connor about what's going on.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to go meet him at his house, or something. But no, it had to be on set.
So Veronica goes over to the movie set for this action movie, and she's having an inner monologue about like, oh my God, Connor, he's the hottest fucking guy. If his smile is worth $5,000, his abs have got to be worth double. Because his abs are fucking incredible. I can't. If I'm in the same room as his abs, I might just go over and lick all over his body. And then we get a shot of Connor putting on a vest.
I knew this was coming. Watching this episode, I was like, this is what Joe is saving up for. Here it is.
And we get a shot of Connor shirtless putting on a tactical vest. And he does not have abs.
They're not like defined, crazy, rippling abs like you would expect. No. He's perfectly fine.
He's got,
he's fit.
He's a lean physique guy.
Yes. But they really harped on abs.
They harped too hard on the abs for a guy that has none.
Yeah, it's
like
they didn't have to do the ab talk. They could have just been like, who shirtless. There's so many different ways they could have described it, but it was like abs in a cut, and you could see he did not have like 6-pack defined. It was like 2. It was so slim. Not judgment,
he's lean.
But
he's fit.
But it was not like rippling abs like she was talking about.
But they talk too much about the abs.
Yeah.
I mean, he's oiled up.
Yeah, he is so oiled up.
He's oiled up and tan, which definitely helps.
He is slick. Yeah.
But Veronica's like over there drooling over this guy's non-existent abs. I'm going to say it. I've got better abs than this guy. I've got way better abs than this guy. Vance, admit it.
I don't know if you have better abs.
Admit to the podcast listeners, I got better abs than Connor.
I will not. They will have to judge for themselves.
Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah, because it's a huge story point.
It's not a huge story point, but it is something. Yeah, this does not play into anything at all later.
It's a huge story point.
And Connor, you stole that so that you get the ab implants.
He needs them because he doesn't have any.
Couple more crunches, they'll be popping out.
It bothered me.
I don't know why they had her inner monologue. I will say this episode overall, Veronica's inner monologue VO, not good. None of it mattered to me.
Yeah.
This is a more of a flashback episode than it is her inner monologue stuff. I think this really lacked on her inner monologue being relevant and cool because this is wrong. This is wrong, and she has no worry about the journal. Weevil's not leaking that to the press.
Yeah, I don't think the Weevil really gives 2 shits about Duncan's journal entries about Veronica Mars.
What would they possibly say?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, Veronica already has like a horrible reputation at the school.
Yeah.
Like every new character that's introduced in this series is like, oh, you know what they say about you around school.
Yeah.
I mean, what's Duncan's? I'm so in love with her. I hope that she's great. Like, it's going to be more embarrassing for Duncan.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Connor doesn't have abs and he doesn't know who stole the money. But she asks him about the poker game and he's basically like, yeah, everybody was bullying that Weevil guy. I don't know. I feel fucking bad for that guy. Like, and I feel shitty that like somebody stole his money and people are screwing this guy over. And then we get a flashback of like all the 09ers like basically accusing each other and talking about being cheap or ghetto. And then Duncan yells at Logan for giving the pizza guy a bad tip. And that's kind of like that flashback scene.
Yeah. Which pays off at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then yeah, because Logan's like, I don't know, I tipped him like a few bucks, and Duncan's like, dude, that's a terrible tip. Like, you gotta fucking think about like 15%. It's Christmas time for this guy's family too.
Well, that's what
this.
Weevil says. Weevil ends up handing him bucks. It's like, it's Christmas time even for delivery people too.
So Duncan like gives him a bigger tip. And then we go back to present day, and then Connor's like, yeah, man, I feel bad for this guy. And then so he's drinking something, and then he tries to like shoot it into a trash can, and he misses. And then he's like, nah, well. And Veronica looks at it, and she's like, raises her eyebrow, like, huh.
That was so funny. He's been drinking tea like this whole time, even in the flashbacks. And he goes to throw the bag in the trash can, and it just hits the side of the trash can. And it was so funny.
Yeah, it just thuds onto the ground, and Veronica looks at it.
Just that wet tea bag sound hitting that plastic trash can. And it wasn't like, I'm going to get up and pick it up and put it in the trash. It was like,
Yeah.
It was,
can't.
It's so funny.
Yeah, the thwack of just thwack.
He tried.
Yeah. So then he can't pick it up because he gets a call from his agent. And he's like, hey, I gotta go take this. I'm sorry, Veronica. It's been lovely chatting with you, though. I was like, I like this guy. He's not the one putting it out there that he's got great abs. Everybody else is.
No, not everybody else. Just one little girl. What are you talking
Anyway.
about? Why are you saying, Only Veronica said it.
And other people have talked about his abs.
They talked about his abs?
Yeah.
When? I did not. I wasn't that locked in. I just remember this VO on this. I don't know what you're talking. Yeah.
Anyway. So then Veronica calls Weevil. And she's like, yeah, I need to come to talk to you. And then she doesn't call Weevil. She calls Wallace. And she asks him for a favor, and she needs to get Sean Friedrich's home address, who is the other person that was at the poker game. So then we go over to a scene with Aaron Echols playing tennis. And Keith shows up.
Tennis playing. What was that?
Dude, he's so close to the net.
And he is stiff. I'm watching him like, can he not move his, is he not allowed to move his feet? What is his training?
Yeah, dude, he's in like a linebacker stance with his racket. He's just like, pound, pound, pound. It's awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've never played tennis in my life, but I know that looked wrong.
You've never played tennis? Wow.
Yeah, look, I'm white, but that's some white people shit.
Tennis is not like, no, I don't. I mean, tennis is white, but it's not like, I wouldn't classify it as white people shit.
You wouldn't classify tennis as white people shit?
No, because there's so much, it's so like international. Like, it's not just, I wouldn't, no. And there's, no, I wouldn't classify it as a white.
I definitely.
It's a white sport, but it's not like, it's like, you would say golf is white people shit too, right?
Yeah, golf is definitely white people shit.
Yeah.
But tennis is white people shit. Now, I've indulged in other white people shit.
I know. Why are you saying it like, tennis. Why are you saying like tennis and white people shit?
No, that's I've done pickleball a couple times. And that's some white people shit.
Yeah. I mean, I worked the U.S. Open a couple times for
that's
video editing stuff.
Yeah,
but there's also like a bunch of like, I don't know. There's like Spanish. I don't know. It's a lot of international.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, Serena Williams is like the best tennis player of all time.
Yeah,
but Tiger Woods is like the best golfer of all time.
I wasn't even thinking about like Venus and Serena. Actually, I was just thinking like there's so many other, I don't know. I don't picture tennis as white people shit necessarily.
Discord. Starting a poll. Is tennis white people shit?
Lacrosse is, polo, golf.
Yeah, polo is definitely white people shit.
Yeah.
Lacrosse is definitely white people
water
shit.
polo.
And I played lacrosse. Oh my God. I never played water polo, but I would love to. That looks fun.
I'm just like, you just never played tennis. All right, whatever.
No, I never played it.
Mm-hmm.
Too much running. I don't like running. But I did play lacrosse, and that's a lot of running.
Well, if you play tennis the way Aaron Echols plays tennis, you won't be going running at all. You just stand
there. That is true. I need to get on that Aaron Echols game.
You just stand at the net and hit back soft lobs.
But he's playing with, like, I guess a guy. I don't know who he is, but he's like one of the just like paid friends of Aaron.
Oh, that's the guy. That's the guy. It's the same guy that was teaching Stephen A. Smith how to box. Like the same.
Oh yeah,
same guy. Just like I'll take your money. I'll be your tennis
Charles
coach.
Barkley is golf swing.
Yeah.
But Keith is like, hey, I got some questions about this whole pumpkin thing. Aaron, you mind if we talk privately? And Aaron's like, you can say whatever you want in front of Brian. He's good people. And then Keith is like, I think it might have been somebody that you cheated on your wife with. And then Aaron like walks over. He's like, shut the fuck up, bro. Brian, take 5.
He's like, yeah, I'm not tired at all. It's fine.
Yeah. So Keith is like, were you with anyone last Halloween, maybe? Like, it's Christmas time. Why would there be a carved pumpkin of your head? Like, what's going on here? This is a little weird. Is this a message from, like, last Halloween? And then Aaron's just like, I'm faithful to my wife.
Yeah,
like,
this
sure
is where he says it, yeah.
Yeah. And Keith's like, yeah, sure. But, like, is you got anything? And Aaron's like, nope. Back to my standstill tennis lesson.
Hey, movie lovers, this is Kyle, host and producer of the Movie Wars podcast. We're not just a movie review podcast. There's plenty of those. On Movie Wars, a panel of stand-up comedians blends humor with deep film analysis using their unique war card system to grade movies across key categories. Each episode delivers thoughtful insights and spirited debate, offering a fresh comedic take on film analysis. New episodes drop every Thursday on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. Deeply researched, gut-wrenchingly funny, you'll love Movie Wars.
So then Veronica goes over to Sean Friedrich's house. Guy opens the door, an older gentleman in a suit opens the door. It's Sean's dad. And Veronica's like, hey, is Sean home? And the dad goes, Sean is not available. Slams the door in her face, and she turns around to camera, raises her eyebrow like, huh.
Well, we hear a lady's voice, though, calling after the dead. And I didn't know what this was at this point, but then it made some sense later. It's still tricky, but yeah.
I didn't know what the teabag thing was at first. I was just like, is this him just being a litter bug or something? But then I was like, oh, this plays in later, and then this thing plays in later.
Yeah.
So then we get one of the most hilarious extra moments I've ever seen. So it's school the next day. The school bus is pulled up, letting kids off the school bus. And then a black car pulls up.
Wait, I think the next scene, isn't it Keith talking to the caterer?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith.
Very important scene.
You're absolutely right. Sorry, I skipped over something. But yeah, Keith is talking to the caterer of the Casablancas party last time. And Keith is like, hey, so like, what happened? Was there anything weird going on in the last party? And she's like, well, yeah, nothing weird. But there was one weird thing. One of my caterers caught Aaron Echols cheating on his wife with some other man's wife. And then he demanded that I fire that caterer. And then Keith rubs his chin. He's like, okay, all right.
Now, the way this scene plays out is that the caterer mentions having to fire one of the caterers, because they went upstairs where they weren't supposed to go. So you're like, oh,
yes.
And then he's like, oh, what was she doing upstairs? I don't know. And this caterer starts out saying, I'm not allowed to give information about sensitive events, right?
Yeah.
Then later goes, yeah, I had to fire her because she saw him sleeping with somebody else. And I was like, I thought you weren't supposed to give information like this away. Also, how fucked up it is. It's fucked up that you fired the girl knowing the reason. It's one thing if Aaron Echols like, hey, she was upstairs, she wasn't supposed to be. And she fired her, and she was like, she might have saw something. I didn't ask. I don't know. Like, that is how this stuff works in that world of like those servers that are hearing all this shit going on. Like, they can't leak that out, because once that gets out, these caterers will tell your business. They won't get hired by all the people. But she just straight up says, hey, and other people are in the kitchen too while they're prepping. And she's like, hey, you know that big movie star? He just cheated on his wife with someone. And this person knows who it was. I was like, what are you? That's so open. And then you fired that girl too, knowing that that's why. But then she says it all indignant, like, he was cheating. I'm like, so just don't send that girl to the event that you think he'll be at. You shouldn't fire her. That's not her fault. Yeah. So I don't like this. I don't like this head cater organizer person.
Well, it's also like, what is Aaron Echols' leverage here? Because she's like, I won't hire because Aaron demanded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, because I guess he'll badmouth us into his friends and they won't hire us because it's apparently a small place. Like, if you literally have the Casablancas not hiring you, the Jake Kane not hiring you, him not hiring you, your catering company is going to go under. That would be the thing. But it seems like you could just not have her at the events, or I don't know.
Yeah, just tell him that you fucking fired her, and
then don't. Yeah, you say you fired her, and then you just don't.
Yeah. There's no loyalty.
You can kick her out of the event, but not like the whole thing. I don't know. But I didn't like how she was all indignant about, like, I did fire her because she was at a room where she wasn't supposed to be. But this guy sucks. It's like, pick a side.
But I can't give you any information.
I can't give you any information. That's how the scene started. And then she just...
Private and sensitive.
But that $20 million move, that's like TMZ would pay so much money for that. And she seems like she would just do it. She just told it to the disgraced sheriff of Neptune. Never get over that.
So now we're back to the funny extra scene. School bus is locked up or parked.
Oh yeah, I'll watch the scene too, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I was like,
School bus is parked. Kids are getting off the school bus. A black car comes up. It's Sean Friedrich getting out. The car doors, like, there's kids walking towards school. Yeah. Car doors open, so their path is blocked, and the extras see that, and then just like NPC, like kind of like bump into it and then turn around.
Yeah, I was like, that's so clunky. And they didn't play it like it was like them doing like a douche move by driving that way. It was just, it felt like the blocking was off.
Yeah, I mean. It is. I feel like it kind of was like
it was, but it wasn't like the extras don't go exasperated. Like,
yeah, they just kind of look and then turn around.
Yeah,
like it's not. I don't know, man. But then so Sean gets out of the car, and Veronica comes over to question him, and she's like, "Hey, man, what's going on with this poker game?" And Sean's all distressed because he's like, well, I'm mad, and I hope that you figure it out because I have a missing Rolex. Somebody stole my Rolex. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I was like, oh, Weevil, you did it.
Yeah.
A Rolex is worth more than $5,000.
Where did he steal the Rolex from? Like,
I don't know how he got the laptop. I don't know how he got this Rolex.
Yeah.
He's just good old fashioned thief, man. But when he said my Rolex is missing, I was like, dude, you're good. Yeah. You're done. Just leave well enough alone. Don't worry about the $5,000 now, because like a Rolex usually goes for more than $5,000.
Yeah, I'm not into expensive watches, so I don't know. I was looking up Fabergé eggs and I couldn't nail down the price because Fabergé eggs are all over the place. Yeah, Rolexes are like a pre-owned starting at like $6,000 or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it is 2004, so inflation. But
yeah, I mean, that laptop.
He's got a Rolex. He's got a laptop.
That laptop could cost anywhere between $300 or $1,000. Who knows what it is?
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, bro, why don't you just keep stealing? Like you're getting way more worth out of this.
No, he's a Robin Hood gangster, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, Sean's like pissed off about it. Then we get a flashback to Weevil stripping the O9ers down. We need to revisit that.
Yeah, and that scene really doesn't go that far. It just shows them stripped down again.
Yeah.
Which I just don't.
lack of I would say Logan's got better abs than Connor.
Yeah, I wasn't staring too hard at them. I was still more confused why Weevil's sitting there with his hands crossed, like watching them strip down, and why Connor, an A-list actor, would be like, "I'm gonna do this."
Yeah,
just get him. Just be like, "I'll write you a check, dude. It's fine."
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Sean tells Veronica that he thinks that Weevil stole the money. And Veronica's like, why would he steal his own money that he won? And Sean's like, I don't know, but I don't need the money. You see me, I got a black car dropping me off at school. Weevil needs the money. And he was down to his last 2 chips. So I think that he stole the money before he won everything. And now he's accusing us all of stealing the money. And I was like, okay, interesting wrinkle.
He was down to his last 2 chips.
And he went all in, Vance.
I wonder how much they're betting per hand. How long is this night? You know?
I don't know. Long night, though. Expensive night.
I mean, they ordered like 4 pizzas, a pizza per person, it looked like.
Yeah.
And then they had a show because the mom was night swimming.
Yeah. Yep. So then we go to Aaron Echols at Keith's office. And Keith sits him down. He's like, hey, look, man, I talked to the caterer. I know what happened at the Casablancas Halloween party. You got caught cheating. And Aaron's like, oh, I mean, when I said I was faithful to my wife, I meant I like emotionally.
Yeah.
And Keith is like, look, dude, I'm not here to investigate whether or not you're cheating or not. That does not concern me. I'm just looking for who this stalker is, okay? So I'm not going to tell your wife about this infidelity. But you have to tell me, here's the guest list of the Casablancas Halloween party. You need to tell me who you slept with. And then
Yes,
Aaron takes a pen and he circles multiple names.
Yeah.
And Keith is like, I meant just at the Halloween party. And Aaron looks at him like, What a fucking guy.
Yeah, he was like, oh, fuck. I didn't have to circle all these names. I didn't have to circle them all. You just met the party.
Yep.
Now you know I've been cheating multiple times.
I'm faithful to my wife. So he looks at all the names, Keith does, and he sees a name, Monica Hadwin, who is Aaron Echols' agent's wife. Playing with fire there, Aaron.
I love thinking about that when he got the phone call at the gas station. What do? You can't turn down those figures. And I can't turn down my agent's hot wife.
Yep.
God.
So he doesn't think that she's the stalker because she's good people.
He's like, oh, that was the night I had the hard cider.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he's like, it can't be Monica. And then Keith's like, well, is it any of the other 2, Sharon or Deborah? And that's when he's like, I don't know. I had hard cider. I was fucked up, dude.
if I was on quote unquote, which I'm not.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't.
I love how the scene ends when he goes, they're not stalkers. They're just needy. God.
I mean, it was insane to me because Keith pulls out a picture of all 3 of them together, like posing.
Yo, those photos were hilarious.
Yeah. And then Keith is like, you do realize all 3 of these women are invited to your Christmas party tomorrow.
It's like, oh.
And
yeah.
Aaron's like, yeah, I'm trying to get my dick wet some more.
Yeah, what are you talking
of course
about?
they're invited. You never gotten pussy, Keith?
Like, yeah, I mean, that's just how that circle runs, man. It's a small. Yeah. Yeah.
So Keith goes over to Monica Hadwin to question her about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, of course I slept with Aaron Echols. He's a fucking millionaire movie star. And he's got an ass like a 16-year-old or whatever.
She doesn't admit to sleeping with him.
She does say something about how he has the ass of a 16.
Yeah, she talks about how hot he is and that he's a movie star, but she's being worked on by the tailor. Like a tailor's getting her dressed up. And her husband is going to walk in.
Yeah. But she tells Keith that he should be investigating Deborah. She's walking around always flashing her big fake boobies. Who could resist? And then her husband walks in and she's like, oh, this is Keith Mars. He's investigating Aaron Echols' stalker. Mm-hmm. And the husband is like, oh, can I go a day without thinking about Aaron Echols? Come here, honey. Mwah.
Yeah, and then Keith was like, my wife left me, but yours stepping out.
I just want somebody to be like, hey, this is Keith Mars. And someone go, yeah, I know you. Yeah. You're the fucking nobody.
It's all the town talked about forever.
Still investigating all those fucking going nowhere cases, Keith? Piece of shit.
No one treats Keith like he's disgraced.
Nope. He's still a reputable guy.
Except for the sheriff that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, we really haven't seen that guy in a while.
Yeah.
So then we have a scene of Veronica just like silently being worried about Duncan's laptop being missing. And I completely forgot that was at stake here.
It's because it doesn't matter.
Yeah. She was like, oh man, he wrote journal entries about me. Those could get out there. And I was like, oh yeah, that is why she's so invested in this.
You don't know if that's your brother or not. Like, the laptop's the least of your worries.
Yeah. So Wallace shows up and he's like, did you find out anything about that poker game? Veronica's like, it's all weird. And then we go to the 09ers and Logan goes to sit down next to Duncan and Duncan looks at him, gives him a dirty look and then gets up and leaves. And then Veronica goes over to the table and she's like, hey, Logan, I know who stole the money and I want you guys to throw another poker game. And he's like, why would we do that? That's fucking dumb.
He's not wrong.
And Veronica's like, well, each of you has gotten something stolen. And if you want it back, you all need to be at this poker game because whoever doesn't show up is the person who stole the money.
And then I'll take their spot. Somehow we got all the way back around to her trying to win money for her dad's Christmas gift, I'm assuming, is why she would want in. But I don't know. Yeah. She's like, the person won't, whoever doesn't show up will be the guilty one. But it's a lot of like hoops to jump just to get this scene so that she can run down that detective. I'm going to say everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Weevil's there backing her up. He's like, yeah, I'll give you your laptop back. I'll give you your Rolex back. But let's just do this poker game. And Logan's like, you even know how to play? Do women, do their brains even know how to conceptualize poker? And Veronica's like, if you bunch of fucking idiots know how to play poker, I can probably figure it out.
Yeah.
And Logan protests too because he's like, can't do it tomorrow. That's the night of my big family Christmas party. Veronica's like, I don't give a fuck about your Christmas party, dude.
Yeah, because my dad has nothing planned. My dad's spending Christmas looking into your dad.
So it's party time. Was Echols family?
Was Logan supposed to go to this party, or was this just like an adult's party and like he was never planning to go to it? Because it does not seem like they care that he's there or not.
Yeah, I mean, even if it is an adult party, like it's one of those obligation things where like you have to make an appearance in your little Christmas suit.
Yeah, but this one's so like fancy ball, like,
hey, you guys remember my son, the one that started bum fights, right?
Such an entrepreneur.
He's learned his lesson. Yeah. Ain't that right, son? Yes, father. How'd that $500,000 donation thing go?
Great.
Don't make me go get my belt.
And he just grabs him by the scruff of the neck and shakes him too hard. Yeah, but it's like there's no kids. No one else is bringing. Like Duncan wasn't invited to come to this with Jake Kane in them because Jake Kane's here.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that is like an adults only thing because now, like, while the party's going on, they're in the like pool house doing their poker thing.
Yeah.
Here's
the thing I thought up. When they were like, let's just throw a party right here. Let's just throw a poker game. Connor he acts in movies. He is a celebrity. Why is he playing poker in the back room with the son of Aaron? Like, I was just like, I feel like he would have obligations or family or something. Like,
I mean, most Christmas parties aren't on Christmas.
No, but things are happening around. He was on a movie set earlier that day. Yeah. Like that week. And then they were like, hey, we're going to put, like, normally you're like, oh, I'm going to put together a poker night. It was impromptu. And Connor's like, I could be there. Last time I went there, I got strip searched and everyone took the money.
Oh,
sure.
Oh, and who's going to be there? The guy that strip searched me? Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, sure.
Because he wasn't at the scene. Like, he's not in their high school.
No.
So they would have to, like separately call Connor to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
he's there.
They're all there. They're basically recreating the exact same thing because, like, Duncan shows up with his bottle of Jack Daniels that he was chugging from.
Yeah.
And so they're all sitting around there, and then Veronica shows up. It's like, nice of you to finally make it. And then Veronica goes full Sherlock Holmes. I'm going to explain the mystery.
Yeah.
So she grabs Duncan's bottle of Jack Daniels and she just starts chugging it. And we're not doing quote unquote, but if we were, this one goes specifically for the line read from Weevil, where he just goes, "Damn, girl!" when she's chugging the Jack Daniels. And she puts the bottle down and she goes, "Just what I suspected. Iced tea. Nice little musical theater trick that you got going there, Duncan." And they're like, "How did you know?" She goes, "Because I know Duncan, and whenever he drinks, he's a lightweight. He wouldn't be able to calculate a tip for the pizza guy. So he definitely was pulling the same iced tea trick that night. So he wasn't drunk at all. And he was just playing drunk to, like, look cool for you guys or whatever."
Well, he was playing drunk so that he could win their money, but he also is just bad at poker, so he lost anyway. It's his like, oh, I'm drunk, so it's like poker face kind of thing. And boy, do I not like pretend drunk or drunk Duncan. He's so goofy and silly. It's like not fun at all.
Yeah. So then she moves over to Connor and she's like, and Connor didn't do it. Connor isn't a drug addict. He wasn't going to the bathroom to do cocaine. He was going to the bathroom because he had to pee and poop a lot because he's been drinking sun tea, which is a famous diuretic, which a bunch of actors drink before shirtless scenes in movie to make them thinner and look more ripped and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, he needs to drink some more of that.
I am happy that you body shame the guys and you don't body shame the women. I'll take that much for it.
Well, they're making such a big stink about it, dude.
I know, but you will definitely then harp on it.
I don't believe in an eye for an eye, Vance. I believe in 2 eyes for an eye.
I love that the other guy has been chugging tea out of Jack Daniels and he doesn't go to the bathroom a ton, but this guy who has like 1 cup of tea. And he's drinking it at a poker night.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And then she moves on to Logan. She's like, Logan couldn't have done it because everybody thinks that Weevil said that he searched through the house.
Of course his abs wasn't showing. He ate a whole pizza that night. The fuck?
No. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit to be said about the saltiness of the pizza drying you out, making you look more ripped.
The saltiness of the pizza? What about the 1,000 calories of him eating a whole pizza?
I mean, if it's the only thing you're eating all day.
They had 5 pizzas for 5 people.
I just don't understand how this fucking guy he has the reputation for abs. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway. So Veronica doesn't suspect Logan because Weevil said that he searched through the house and he didn't even get to search as much as he wanted to. But when Veronica visited Logan's place when he was playing video games earlier in the episode, it looked like the house was like turned and flipped upside down. So He couldn't have hidden the money because it would have turned up.
No, he wouldn't have ripped his place up if he had taken the money.
Yeah.
Also, why would he think that the money just got lost? Like it fell out of the wooden thing and went... I don't know.
So then Veronica's like, and then there were two. It's between Weevil and Sean. And I'll tell you all, it was Sean. And this is how he did it.
This is TV nonsense, but sure. Yeah.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
So Sean was able to take the money when everybody was paying for the pizza. He hid it in his bottle of ghetto aesthetic juice.
It was Big Mouth Joe's, as she calls it.
He was able to put it in that bottle and then throw it in the garbage or recycling. And he knew that he could get it the next day digging through the trash because the trash gets recycled or something. Like he went dumpster diving for the bottle and the money was in there the next day.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, why would Sean do it? Well, let me tell you why Sean would do it. When she went over to Sean's house at like 3:00, his dad was home in a suit answering the door. And it was like, why is he home at 3:00? He should have a job. And that's where I was like, bullshit. We saw Jake Kane hanging out at high school with Duncan, and he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
But that's how Veronica was like, I knew that Sean did it because his dad, I guess, needs the money or something because they're poor. And she looked into Sean.
Not it. His dad.
She did a background check on. Oh, what?
Well, you go ahead. No, you say what you're going to say.
Oh, well, Veronica did a background check on Sean. And Sean has a shoplifting problem. And the problem is he's not very good at it. So he gets caught a bunch shoplifting. So he's just a kleptomaniac.
That solves the question that I had about the Rolex. But yeah. Okay.
So the 09ers all look at Sean.
Yeah. Like, so here's the thing. The thing is this. It's not that the dad is struggling with money. The dad is the butler.
Oh.
He doesn't live at that house. The dad is a butler. That's why he was dropping him off in the car. That's why he's dressed like that. That's why he's answering the door. The dad is the butler. He's pretending that Sean pretends like he's the rich guy like at that house or something, but he's the butler, which makes very little sense considering that everybody knows everybody and somebody has to live at that house, and the 09ers wouldn't know the person that lives in the biggest house.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like really a reach there. And then I was like, wait, how did he have a Rolex to get stolen if he's not really rich? And the shoplifting is how he had a Rolex. But yeah, the butler thing is like because even Veronica's like, I was like so happy I could be like, the butler did it. Something like that. But it makes sense like he's driving him in like their car to drop him off at school. But it's like the dad dropping off his kid. I think that's what it is. I think he's supposed to be the butler in the house. That's what the lady calling him to do something was about.
That makes sense. That's because I was like,
but it makes no sense that like they would look up his address and no one would know who actually lives in that house.
Yeah, maybe they have like a separate like.
I mean, I'm sure they have I think they have another. They probably live in a house in the back, or like they have their own quarters. But whoever actually does live at that house probably is invited to this Christmas party because it's supposed to be the nicest house in the area next to Jake Kane's and the Casablancas and all of them. So whoever that lady is, they should know who that is and they know that that's not his mom. But yeah, that's the whole twist.
The 09ers all look at Sean and they're like, how could you? You scum. And then Weevil's like, hey man, let's go for a little walk. And then Sean's like, please, there's no need for physical violence. I can get you the money. I can pay you. Don't do this.
I have no idea what happens, what Weevil's going to do to this guy.
Me neither. He's probably just going to give him a wedgie and a swirly.
There's a full-on party happening at the house with 200 guests and caterers.
I mean,
what is he going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. They're going to go on a walk.
Did they
He's
get
gonna
the...
go on a walk and be like, "How could you do this to me, dude? I need that $5,000."
Did he say he spent the money or that he could get it back?
He said he could get it back.
Okay.
So then,
we need this $5,000. I got to move out of my apartment.
So then Veronica sits down at the table and she's like, "I can deal." And we get some of the craziest like cuts to other people's hands shuffling this deck of cards and doing trick shuffling and stuff.
I wasn't even really paying attention at this point. I think I was like so busy with the shoplifting butler notes.
I was paying attention because they do like all this trick like layouts and stuff. And they're just like straight up man hands with Veronica Mars's shirt on. They're like veiny as fuck man hands. And then they'll cut back to Veronica just like delicately like folding the cards. And then they'll cut to her like spreading them out with the man hands.
That's awesome.
And it's like shot in wide angle. So the man hands look even bigger and stuff. It's crazy. So then Aaron Echols is up at the party and he's looking at Monica, the hot lady agent wife. And they're like making eyes at each other. And Keith is at his office. And he's like, something suspicious here. He's looking at his suspects and he sees the picture of the one woman that Aaron slept with. In the background, there's a bunch of carved pumpkins.
It's the only thing in the picture. Like, I don't know how many times he had to look through these photos to realize this, because it's like, he's got like 10 by 10 photos.
Yeah.
These headshots that I guess at the party they took photos, but it's not even like, it's like they just stood in front of something and a photographer just took the picture.
Yeah.
They don't look like what you would see at a party, like the section at a party where like the photographer would take your picture. Because the backgrounds are so different.
They look like disposable camera pictures that have been blown up. Because the flash is so harsh.
But they're not like candids either. You know, they're like definitely. Yeah. But anyway, he's like, oh, where could be pumpkins?
Yeah. I wonder who carved those.
What were you doing all day, Keith?
Dude,
you should have found that like while you were with Aaron.
Aaron, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we go back to the party goers are gathering around a guy playing the piano, and then there's another lady making eyes at Aaron, and Aaron's looking at her like, oh boy, oh boy.
This one, she's like eating olives, and it's just eye fucking the shit out of him. And I'm just like
licking all over the olives, like, these are your balls, Aaron.
My wife's here. Bitch, my wife's here.
Bitch, my wife's right there. And then Keith calls the caterer. He starts putting on his investigator trench coat.
Inspector Gadget.
Yeah. And he's like, who did you hire to be the pumpkin carver? And she gives the name or whatever.
No, she was like, what is the role? And it's some like French name.
Or something.
It's like, oh, what does that mean? And it's a carver. It's like, I was like, I'm fine. I don't need it to be. Like once I saw the pumpkins, that was enough for me. I didn't need the phone call.
Then we're back at the poker game and Veronica's cleaning up. She is taking all these motherfuckers' money, and then they're all like, we need to take a break because you're just like taking all of our money. We need to let the stars realign or something. Like, this is fucking crazy.
Anybody want to order 20 pizzas? What?
Yep. So they all go upstairs to the party, and Weevil and Veronica are there talking about how they don't blend in at all. And Weevil's like, what are you talking about? You blend in. You're one of these 09er chumps. And Veronica's like, I need to go talk to somebody.
It is so funny to see them in there because they are not dressed up at all.
Yeah, everybody else is in like a suit and a nice dress and everything. And Weevil's got like a leather jacket and Veronica's got a long sleeve t-shirt on.
Yeah, like Logan and Duncan are just dressed like they're in school.
Yeah. And they reconcile. They're hanging out at the bar and they're like, hey man, sorry for accusing you of stealing. And Logan's like, it's all good. I've done a bunch of shitty things anyway. And we cool? We're cool.
The least consequential storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Keith shows up at the party and he's like, I got to warn Aaron about something. And the security won't let him in there. He's like, I just don't see your name on the paper, buddy.
Never heard of this Mars guy. You weren't in the news before.
Mars. I don't see. I love that Keith is like, guy, I know I'm not on the list. Just, there's an emergency though. Just let me in. Security's like, my hands are tied here, dude.
He should get in touch with Lynn. Lynn and him seemed like they had a connection.
Yeah. I mean, even Aaron.
Mm-hmm. I feel like anytime these parents come in, they like have that connection to Keith, just because like his daughter was dating one of them. They were in the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Celeste, like in the pilot, was like, you know, kind of like had a interesting vibe when she went to Keith to ask about. It's still insane that you would ask Keith to investigate your husband for cheating after he was investigating him for murder of your daughter.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
So anyway, we then Veronica walks to a room where Jake Kane has just been hanging out alone.
He was treating this like it was his office, and I did not understand.
He's like staring at the bookshelf like it's his study, like pondering, like, what books are in here?
Yeah.
This is interesting. Veronica goes into the room and she's like, why was the head of your security taking pictures of me and putting bullseyes on my face? Is that why my mom left town? Why are you allowing this? And Jake is like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't fucking know.
And she is so tight. It's the way they film these scenes. Like, she is small, but they do these wide shots, and Jake Kane is towering over her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought she was going to ask, like, are you my dad in the scene?
I thought something was going to happen.
Well, Keith looks in through the window because somehow the security outside of this place is not good at all.
The security got distracted by one other person. He had to check his list for this one other person. Keith just walks into the party, like just walks around.
He walked into like a window.
Yeah. But he sees through the window Veronica and Jake Kane yelling at each other. And Veronica's like, why did Clarence Weedman take pictures? Why are you doing this? And Jake's like, I didn't order any pictures. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is why I'm so fucking confused.
You know what's so funny is that we've seen the outside of their house before, where Logan had to take like his scooter down to the mailbox. But in this scene, somehow you can just sneak up to no celebrity has their house where you can just like walk right by it like that. Yeah, like he's just peeking in through the window watching this.
Yeah, he's peering in and he's looking at Veronica confronting Jake Kane, and he gets his little sad Charlie Brown like, oh no.
I would not have sad Charlie Brown face. I would have terrified for the safety of my daughter face if I think that the guy who murdered his own daughter is now in a room with my daughter. That is the level of concern. Like, it should be throw a brick through that window and tackle that guy. Instead, he's like, oh no, what's happening? That's why you don't send Veronica to the Echols house.
So Jake goes back to the party and he runs over to Celeste and he grabs her by the arm and he starts shaking her. He goes, what did you do?
And this is right in front of Aaron Echols and Lynn Echols.
And his wife and the whole party.
Yeah.
They're basically on top of that piano. What did you do? And Celeste is like, what do you mean, what did I do? It's like, what are you doing? Get your coat. We're out of here.
Yeah.
And so she's like, all right, fine. I'll go get my coat. And then Lynn takes her little like glass. She's like, ding, 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 ding. Everybody, I got an announcement. Don't pay attention to what just happened.
I have a surprise outside.
Everybody just go follow the Santa helpers. Everybody go outside. We have a surprise.
Now,
so
this was poorly executed. I know what they wanted to do. I've seen this done multiple times on different shows, different movies. Mm-hmm. It's just not executed well.
When the surprise is revealed, I was like, this is lame as fuck.
Yeah.
Rich people are lame, dude.
No, well, this is the show trying to do something and they don't pull it off well.
Yeah.
They want that contrast.
Yeah.
And I've seen it done so many times where you get that and it's like, oh, one thing's happening and it's like upbeat and this other thing is like downbeat, but it contrasts. Like you would never expect to see this happen with this thing. But the way this is done is so quick. It's like they ran out of time. Like this, the surprise is that there's like carolers outside. Now the carolers need to start singing in the scene where Veronica's like confronting.
Mm-hmm.
That people should already be watching that, and it should be like singing, and then all this stuff should be happening, and then it should get to a crescendo right about here. But instead, it starts here, and it's like really, it's too quick. Like you don't have that. You got to kind of montage it up.
But so people go outside, see the carolers. Keith comes rushing in. And one of the Santa helpers goes up to Aaron Echols. She takes off her hat. And she's like, well, you don't fucking recognize me? You just sleep with me and then leave me? And Aaron's like, what? What's happening? And then she takes an ice pick and just stabs Aaron Echols in the side. And everyone's like, oh! There's a big brouhaha. Keith rushes in. He tries to warn Aaron. He's like, look out! But it's too late. Aaron Echols is falling all over the side of some table. He's like, ah. Lynn is all like, oh no, my husband got stabbed.
And Keith tackles the lady, and then they cut to Logan, who you don't even know that he's... The geography is all weird because you don't know where he is in this. And then they just cut to him and he's got his hand behind his head like, oh my God, that happened. And he's like on his cell phone, like I guess calling the cops. But it's just...
Lynn's like, somebody call an ambulance. And his reaction shot is horrible.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my head. What? It's like, it's supposed to be like disbelief and like, I can't believe this is happening. But it's shot in this weird slow-mo stuttery thing. And then like Veronica's there and she's kind of just looking, but she's like blank, like, because she's like, what happened? And then they have the song playing outside. And that's supposed to be like this upbeat thing while a guy is getting stabbed. But it's happening so quick and the cuts, and it's just not executed well, in my opinion. It's like shocking, like, oh, someone stabbed him. But you know he's not going to die.
Did you notice that when Keith initially gets into the party and he's looking for Aaron, he does a little jump to like try and find
should look over people?
like
yeah,
a little dork.
Like I can't see him. Where's the?
He jumps up in his little trench coat, like flutters, and
he couldn't wait to tackle that girl though.
I know. But that's where we leave it. The caroler singing to the rest of the guests as Aaron has been stabbed by his former mistress lover as his wife learns of his infidelity.
And I did not pay attention to Veronica's VO at the end here.
Me neither.
They threw a lot at the end of this.
Everybody's cheating on everybody.
The episode wasn't building towards a Jake Kane Veronica confrontation.
It really wasn't.
And then that comes out of nowhere. The stabbing, that was like all tracked and fine. But the Jake Kane confrontation came out of like, oh, I guess he's here. I guess I will talk to him.
Yeah.
It's funny how she like will track down the person that took the photos, but then be like, oh, I guess I should confront Jake Kane now that he's here.
Oh, while I'm here.
Are
you my dad?
I mean, I don't really care because I'm not going to let Duncan know. I don't know, man. But I don't know how I feel. Aaron Echols got stabbed. I guess that's something. I don't know. I don't know what this changes dynamic wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
It felt like a holiday episode where they're like, we need something to happen at the end of this that seems big. And this is what they did. Yeah.
Probably the next episode next episode isn't for a few weeks. Yeah. Gotta leave them cliffhangers. You got anything else to say about In Echols Family Christmas?
Do you have a prediction for Lily Killer?
Ooh. I predict it's the Carver lady because she's killed before.
I think it was Celeste and the Murder Mistresses teamed up to do it.
Oh, the Murder Mistresses. Who are they?
All the people in that triple photo that we saw.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
How convenient all three of the women he slept with took a picture of all three of them in the same frame.
I know. That's wild.
He was like, well, I guess I'll just sleep with all of you guys. Yeah.
Next episode is titled Silence of the Lamb.
Well, we have to go back to the Kuntz.
Abel Kuntz.
Abel Kuntz. Abel Kuntz.
Somebody on Discord said that Abel Kuntz sounds like a British cuss. Oh, look at all these Abel Kuntz. And I was like, that is so fucking accurate.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. I think it was Mark. I don't remember. But that was so accurate.
Yeah, I think this is where they finally talk about the traffic. The traffic. Veronica finally mentions the traffic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Keith realizes that Jake Kane could still be a potential. Like, this really validates the potential of Jake Kane or Duncan or Celeste being a viable murder suspect. And they get Abel Kuntz off. Because if he dies in jail, the case is over. Because at first I thought he was going to die. But, like, if he dies, then, like, they'll say, like, he did it and that'll be it. But I think they somehow introduced that new evidence that they have of the photos, which is crazy that they have not tried to introduce that evidence.
I know, dude. That has not been brought up since that episode.
No, that's only 2 episodes ago, but still, like, that should be...
No, it was like 90.
That should be what happens.
I'm going to predict that Veronica finds out that Jake is her dad and she's confronted with whether she should tell Duncan or not, and she chooses to remain silent.
I don't believe that will happen, but if that happens, I will not like it at all. I will think this is the weirdest thing ever.
I think it's going to be something like Veronica finds out a secret and she has to stay silent about it.
That's your prediction?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
What other secret can she stay silent about?
I don't know, man. It's called Silence of the Lamb.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the movie. So
yeah, I'm thinking of keeping quiet about something. But that is a wrap for an.
Or I'm going to throw in a wild card: petting zoo. That's it.
Ooh, petting zoo. You think they go back to the cult farm?
No, just the petting zoo. Something. That's the bonus prediction.
All right. Well, that's a wrap for an Echolls family Christmas, everybody. Thanks for listening. Hop on Discord. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/boys watching Buffy. Doing Boys Watching Dollhouse. We got Boys Watching Movies on there. Buffy vs. Burlesque coming up. It'll be here before you know it, just like Christmas. May 3rd, Illusion Magic Lounge, Buffyverse.burlesque.eventbrite.com. Use promo code Boys Watching Buffy, all caps, no spaces, for a little discount. And we got Amazon wishlists, we got merch. And yeah, that's a wrap. Thanks for listening. Oh, if you want to get a shout out, Apple Podcast 5-star rating and review, Spotify 5-star rating, take a screenshot of it, send it in to us. We'll get something off that wish list. And we will shout you out. And stay tuned for next time when we talk about Silence of the Lamb.
Set it up to go again, please.
I don't know if Connor's smile cost $1 million, but his six-pack abs are worth at least double that. Damn. I repeat, damn.
Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.